Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Kingsley, and I recently moved to Sweden. And since I moved to Sweden, I've been getting quite a number of DMs and requesting for information and on how we're able to pull through. And on today's, there are quite a number of ways with which you can relocate to Sweden, but one of the ways I'll be talking about today is through the study route. And in this video, I'll be showing you practical steps on how you can do it yourself. You don't need any agent. You don't need to. We did it ourselves. Me and my wife, we did it ourselves. We didn't. There was nobody did it for us. Like there was no agent involved. It was something that we did a whole lot of research and did the application process, the visa processing, permit processing rather, everything. We shall did everything by ourselves. So in today's video, I'll be telling you on how to apply by yourself. All you just need is time for you to make research because you're going to be making a whole lot of research. All right, enough said. Let's delve into how you're going to how you're going to apply for admission for the master's admission for the master's program in Sweden. So first, let's move on. So all right, in Sweden, whatever admission you're applying for, you do it through the university admissions body. You understand? Now Sweden has like you don't have to apply to each schools. You don't apply to the schools directly. You have to apply through the body university admission. Now, unlike other countries where you have to send your transcript to school A, school B, school C, school D, that if you're applying to 4 schools or 3 schools, for instance, you're sending different transcripts to these schools. But in Sweden, it's not done like that. All admission processes is managed and handled by the university admission body. So for you to start the process, the first thing you do is visit university admission. And in Sweden, you can select as much as you can select 4 schools. Now let me explain. When you come to these university admissions, you register, you select 4 schools. Can decide to select 4 different courses, but please, I beg you, while you are selecting don't go and select banking and finance as your first choice, computer science your second choice, business admin your third choice, law your fourth choice. So whatever it is you're selecting, let them be interrelated. You understand? If you're selecting, your first choice should be connected to your second choice, and everything you submit or you select rather should be connected to what you study in your first degree. If you have to do a change, then I'll tell you about that later. I'll tell you what to do. If you have to do a change from what you studied in your first degree, then you have some justifications to do. But before then, let's just dive in. So first, you now come to where you visit the university admission. This is the link universityadmission.se. When you visit the universityadmission.se, me I already have an account, but for you that don't have an account, you now have to create an account. You now have to create an account. Okay, I've already logged in, so let me just log out. So you now have to create an account. You click on the login button. I already have an account, so you just come to create account. Now, this is where you create your account. Now, it's asking, do you have a Swedish personal number? In my subsequent video, I'm going to talk about the Swedish personal number, but since you don't have a Swedish personal number, you just need to click on no. You click on no, then pretty much there's nothing much. These steps are what you can do by yourself, you understand? It's just your email address, your password, to actually confirm password. You just pretty much information about you. There are 5 steps, so this is just one of the steps. So when you follow the steps, I already created an account, so I'm not going to be going through the steps. And the steps are not difficult, it's something that you can figure out yourself. So once you are in, once you've been able to create your account, you're going to see something like this. I think this is where you come to. You understand? This is where you come to. So this is where you make your, excuse me, this is where you make your selections, you understand, of the courses you want to study and the schools with which you want to study these courses on this place, this particular place. Now, so you come here and there is a filter here. So if you're applying for master's program, just click on the master's level. So it only shows you master degree programs. You understand? It does not show you It does not show you every other program. So when you search, it really shows you. All right, so let's see. Okay, let's say now we want to apply for computer science. Computer science. Fine, beautiful. When you click computer science, you're going to see this. Now, when you look here, you see master's program in computer science. You see the school. Okay, this 120 credit. Let me talk about the 120 credit. Now, usually, courses in Swedish universities, master's degree course programs in Swedish university is for 2 years. You understand? It's for 2 years. And that 2 years is what is meant by 120 credits. So 60 credits every year. You can as well choose some schools. Some schools offer, oh, beautiful. Look at this now, master's in software engineering. This is 60 credits in University of West. You understand? But then this 60 credit, you will not, when you select a course that is less than 2 years, you will not be able to apply for a Swedish personal number in Sweden. That's if your course is less than 2 years. I think in my later video, I'm going to tell you what the Swedish personal number is and how important. I think in the US it's called Social Security number. Yeah, I think so, Social Security number. So, and that number is very important if you're going to stay more than 1 year in Sweden. There are quite a number of advantages for you to study a 2 year master's program. You also will not need to provide insurance. That's too early. It's too early to talk about that. But meanwhile, just select 120 credits. You understand? But then, before you select the program, before you select any school, you need to do a whole lot of research. Don't just select for selecting's sake. So the first thing you do is to click, for instance, master's program in computer science. So there are a lot of things you have to consider. When you click more, you see the tuition. The total tuition is about 290,000 SEK. You understand? And you're allowed to pay in 4 tranches that you can decide to pay. You have to pay in 4 tranches. This is the first payment. It's divided into 4 since you're studying for full semester. 4 semesters, you understand? So then, another thing that is very important is that you need to visit the course page on the university. Like when you click here, for instance, it will take you to the page in the university where that's this page now. Is the course page on the university where you need to look at, okay, what is required for me to have. You understand? There are some requirements that we say they are course specific requirements. If you're not sure, see, there are emails there. You can just say for admission related general information. These are emails. You can send them an email and say, oh, I just applied for so course. Are there any course specific requirement that I need to know? That the school will respond and tell you if there are any course specific requirements. But meanwhile, let's close this. Okay, let's come here and click here and see what this school has. So you need to go through the schools one after the other. All right, when you look at this, say requirement, general requirements, this is general requirements. You understand? Now, there are some schools that will tell you, and this one now is, these are the okay, all right. So for instance, I want to show us something. Let's just look at linguistics, for instance. Oh, beautiful. Now let's look at linguistics in Lund University. So this will help us understand what I mean. You know, some persons will tell you Sweden don't what is it called? IELTS is not necessary. Yes, I agree, absolutely. But for some courses, that's why you need to look at the course specific requirement. For us now, when we were applying, we didn't look at it. You understand? So there was one course that they told us that IELTS was important, and we're like, but Swedish could not accept IELTS, and they're like, for you to see, we come to requirement and selection. Now, under this requirement and selection, they are going to outline what is needed. You understand? What is needed. So always, if you're not sure of the course specific requirements, send an email to the school for them to tell you, here now, we're told that English, your language skill must be demonstrated and IELTS is included. But also, there's something called country specific requirements. That's why I say if you're not sure, please send the school an email. On the country specific requirement, let's go through the country specific requirements. Okay. Let's go through. Okay, let's choose Nigeria. Nigeria. In Nigeria, that's why you have to do a whole lot of research. Don't just sit down and just select anything. You have to do a whole lot of research. Now in Nigeria, meeting the English language, they said GCO level in English is accepted. You see, English in SSC, NAPTEB, not NAPTEB, sorry, NBT, ANBT, NTC, blah blah blah. They are accepted. You understand? So this also carries the documents that you have to submit. So that is why I say you have to do a whole lot of research. You understand? While you have to do a whole lot of research while applying. You understand? So always make sure you visit the course specific. Excuse me. Always make sure you visit the course specific requirements before selecting your course. And so having said that, this is where you now make your selection. You now select your course, whichever one. If you like this, select. You can select as much as 4 courses. You understand? You can select as much as 4 courses. Then this is very, very, very important. I need to listen to this very well. This is why I say you need to do a whole lot of research. Most schools in Sweden has scholarship. They give scholarships to students. Some give part scholarships, some give full scholarship. I know people that have 100% scholarship. And there's also this SI scholarship that I'm going to talk about in my later video, but then, for now. But the school must be on your first choice. You can rank your school on how you, after you select, when you select the 4 schools, you can now rank them. You understand? You can rank them. You want social universities to be on the number 1, number 2, social university number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, depending on how you want them to be. But before you apply for scholarship or before the school grants you a scholarship, you must have chosen them as your first choice. Do you understand? You must have chosen them as your first choice. All right. So after selecting the schools, now you need to take note of this. This is very important. Okay, how did I get here? Let me show you how I got here. You come here and select key entry requirements and key dates and deadlines. These 2 are very, very important. Now, the entry requirement for a master's program, you need to know what documents you need to submit. What documents you need to submit. General entry requirement. So, course specific requirement. Like I've said this before, but this is very important. While you're okay, let's talk about the key deadline. Let's talk about the key deadlines first. Then we'll now come so that we don't mix them up. Okay, so first, the admission started since 15th October. Now, the last day for the ranking of your course, just like I told you, excuse me, for the ranking of your course, which one do you want? If your first choice, second choice? If you're from Nigeria, you're already used to first choice and second choice, or you want to write jam. I don't know if they still do those stuffs again, but then when we write jam, you have to use your first. You have to choose first choice, second choice. That's just by the way. So now, by 15th of January, you'll definitely not have the opportunity to rank your course. We made this mistake while we're applying, and that's why I'm saying this now, so that you don't make same mistake like us when we were applying, because we didn't know about the ranking thing. We didn't know about it. So before we chose Uppsala University. Shout out to Uppsala University. Wonderful university. All universities in Sweden are very good, but my heart goes out to Uppsala University. Like, I'll tell you why in later video. Then we chose Uppsala as our second choice. Before we now knew about the ranking stuff, was like, I think 2 days after the deadline, that was when we got to know, and there was nothing we could do. But thank God Uppsala still gave us, we still came to Uppsala. So third February is the last day for payment of your application fee. You have to pay. Application fee is 900 sec. Unlike other countries where you pay application fee to different schools, this one you pay just one application fee and it covers the first school. For those of us in Nigeria, naira. For those of us in Nigeria, think one sec is about 160 multiplied by. Okay, but don't just assume how much one sec is. You have to come to this official conversion website for whatever you do in Sweden. Don't worry, you'll get used to these things when you start, especially when you start applying for your permit. Sec to naira. How much is sec to naira? Let's see. Okay, sec to naira is 155. 155. Okay. So let's look at 155. 155 multiplied by your you pay is 900 sec. Oh, sorry, what's this? 155 multiplied by 900. Okay, 139,500. This is how much you have to pay. You understand? This is how much you have to pay for your application fee. Now, on the 3rd of January is the last day for you to submit all necessary documentation. I'm going to talk about it shortly. All necessary documentation must be submitted on the 3rd of January. And for those of us in Nigeria, you know how the Nigerian schools are with transcript. Sometimes, depending on the school, there is this delay before you. So, whenever you apply, you have to start applying for your transcript as soon as possible. Because if your transcript does not get to university admission before the 3rd of February, what happens? Your application might be rejected. So please, try as much as you can to start applying on time so that your university admissions would receive your transcript before the deadline. And finally, 27th March. 27th March is the day you receive your result notification. Have you been granted admission or not? By 27th of December is the day you get to know. But meanwhile, now, the documents that you have to submit. Let's look at this. The documents that you have to submit. After selecting the schools, you now come to, when you come to pages, you come to documents. This is where you upload all your documents. What documents you need to upload? I've showed you where you have to go, so you know the documents you have to upload. But first, your international passport or a form of identification is very, very important. So the first is to upload your identity document. I think there are 3 categories or 2 categories of documents that you have to. I think 2, if I'm not mistaken, 2 or 3. So for you to upload any documents, I think 2 categories. Identity documents. In this identity document, this will upload either your NIN or your international passport. Then educational documents. This educational document now is where you upload. Whatever document you upload, you describe. Now, this educational document now, just upload as much. Whatever document you have, if you have WAEC, GC, NECO. Yeah, I think they accept NECO. Yeah. Whatever document you have, you upload it there. Then for those of us that are married, please upload your marriage certificate. Sweden don't accept the court affidavit, but upload it. I uploaded just because, like I said, you can never over upload, but you can under upload. It's better you upload everything you have. You understand? So upload your marriage certificate, every document, and don't forget also if you have to submit any specific course required documents, make sure you also upload any course required document. If you're requested to write a statement of purpose, some courses require you to write a statement of purpose. That's why I say always visit the course page on the school website to see what is needed, so you don't just assume. And if you're not sure, please make sure you send the school an email. They are going to respond on the course required document that you need to submit. So make all the submission, because after the date that you saw there, after that date, I think 3rd of February or so, I think 3rd of February, you will not be able to upload any other document. And if your document is not complete, then your application might be rejected. So I think that's pretty much, except if there's another thing, that's pretty much it. So now these are just, then you can always contact university admissions. They are super good with responding. These guys are good with responding. See, under this place you see all their messages. These guys are good with responding. I'm not sure there is anything that is left that I've not talked about, but if you have any question, kindly do well to comment, to send in your comments. I'm going to respond to as much as I can. But meanwhile, if you have not subscribed, wait till you gain. Please click on the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, because after this video, I'm going to be doing several other videos that talks about different things and as regards to relocating to Sweden. Thank you for watching this video. And like I said, do not forget to subscribe.